Hey everyone, I'm KJ from Tech Tuesdays with KJ and also the host of the Product Leaders Edge podcast. Hope everyone is doing well. It's actually Tuesday, so happy to report out on Tech Tuesdays with KJ. Thank you all so much for your engagement with the first video on YouTube with Tech Tuesdays. I just realized, honestly, for Tech Tuesdays specifically, I need to use my iPhone. It's a bit better for the Tech Tuesdays videos. For the podcast, it's better to use a full like Riverside studio, but for Tech Tuesdays, it just makes more sense to use the iPhone just because we're a bit more intimate here. So it makes sense. But today, I want to talk about voice and the role that it has in the AI space because voice is actually the next frontier of AI. And I have the Gemini app, Google's AI platform, and I use the voice function often, very, very, very often. And honestly, I think keyboard is going to go away eventually. We're not fully there yet, but at some point, the AI will become more of not live, but more of a talking partner, like not someone that you will type in a chat bot to, but a product word that you will speak to. So like I said, we still live in a keyboard world, but every signal says that we shouldn't. Voice technology is moving so fast. The AI voice market just hit $5.4 billion in 2024, according to Forbes, and it's growing roughly at 25% year over year. And at the same time, adoption is rising quickly because who wants to type? I mean, if you can just talk to the AI, and we've been talking to AI platforms forever for over the last 10 years, Siri, Alexa, but I would say now because AI is more commonplace now with apps like ChatGPT, Gemini, and the use cases are becoming more stronger and we're using AI for way more than we used it before, it makes sense. Anyway, at the same time, adoption is rising quickly. Around 60% of smartphone users are now using voice assistants regularly, which we know, like we said, Siri, Alexa, we've been doing this for a while, which is up from 45% just a year ago. And here's the part that really stands out to me. Speech is about 3 times faster than typing. It really is. Like, we're talking. If I was typing everything that I'm saying right now to you, it would take me such a long time because I would have to structure sentences, would have to make sure things make sense, but we could just talk. And roughly about 164 words per minute versus just over 50. You could get out about 160 words per minute versus about 50 typing on a smartphone. So on paper, honestly, we could say that voice has already won. It's faster, it's more natural, and it's already everywhere. It's already everywhere, honestly, and it was here from a long time ago, but it's becoming more commonplace and more developed. There are more voice assistants in the world. Well, there are a lot of voice assistants in the world. I wouldn't say there are more voice assistants in the world than people, but there are a lot of voice assistants, certain. But in practice, we still default to tapping on the glass and using our phones like we always have been, which is probably just natural human behavior, honestly. And that the development of using a voice platform will take some time for most people, honestly. Like technology adoption, I know a lot of us are using AI, but we have to remember too, a lot of us are also operating in very siloed bubbles where if you live in one of the big cities on the East Coast, New York, Atlanta, even Boston, Midwest, Chicago, Houston, Dallas, the West Coast. It looks a lot different from some other parts of America, Montana. You know, things are different. AI is being adopted, but the level of adoption varies on where you live and who you're around. Because really, at this point, like I said, the limitation isn't technical, it's really human behavior. And we've been typing on a smartphone glass for the last 20 plus years. And it's really how these systems are designed and how people are used to interacting with technology. And we're used to tapping up, we're used to using our fingers to tap on a keypad or on a screen, if you will. Keypads don't exist anymore. From a product and systems perspective, voice isn't just a feature, it's honestly a force multiplier. When people actually admit to using voice, their throughput increases. The interaction becomes more fluid. The distance between intent and execution starts to shrink. Honestly, we all know when we type to ChatGPT or any other AI bot and it doesn't quite understand what we're saying, and that frustration of having to reprompt, retype and you just need a basic request. But when there's voice involved, that process shrinks. And that using voice has real implications across industries from customer support to healthcare to enterprise workflows. So I don't think the next wave of AI will treat voice as an add-on. I honestly personally think that AI products will be built around voice as a primary interface and you'll have the option to chat or maybe 10 years from now it'll just be all voice and no chat. And the shift that we're seeing is from typing to having conversations with systems. And I do this all the time. I have had voice conversations with ChatGPT. I've had voice conversations with Gemini, and honestly I love Gemini's platform. It's so personable. I know that sounds weird, but like stay with me. It just works with really, really well. And so instead of talking about it, I want to show you what it looks like in practice. And I'm going to use Gemini here to demonstrate how voice interaction with AI is starting to feel it's starting to feel less like using a software and more like having a conversation with your friend. Okay. So I have some prompts here on my screen. Give me 1 second. Let me pull them up here. Okay, so let me pull Gemini up. Hey, Gemini, hope you're doing well. I know we recently just spoke and I asked you if you would be willing to do a demo with me. Are you still okay with doing a demo?
Yes, I'm still ready to go. What would you like to start with for the demo?
Okay, can you walk me through a real world use case where using voice is better than typing when using AI?
Sure. A great example is controlling smart home devices. Instead of unlocking your phone, opening an app, and typing a command, you can just say, "Hey, Gemini, turn on the living room lights," for example. It's much faster and more convenient, especially when your hands are full.
Okay. So I know we've been doing that action for quite some time. Like that technology isn't new per se. But with the advent of ChatGPT and Gemini, etc., Claude, and the voice interfaces that sit within apps like yourself, do you see the adoption of voice accelerating now in this current AI era?
I believe it will. The integration of advanced large language models like myself into voice interfaces makes interactions much more natural, intuitive, and capable. This goes beyond simple commands to more complex conversations, detailed requests, and real time assistance, which I think will drive widespread adoption.
Okay, you made a good point. You said more than just commands. That makes sense because we all have used Siri, Alexa, and it's always just like, hey, Alexa, do this for me. Siri, do this for me. But it will be more of a conversation like what we're having right now, right?
Exactly. The ability to engage in dynamic, context aware conversation, to brainstorm, to get detailed explanations, and to have more natural interactions is the key difference. It really expands the possibilities for how we use AI in everyday life.
Okay. So if you could help me think through designing a voice first product, what would that look like?
Designing a voice first product really starts with prioritizing natural language and user intent. You'd focus on creating intuitive conversational flows, ensuring the AI can understand and respond contextually, and also considering clear feedback mechanisms for a seamless experience. What kind of product are you envisioning?
Let's say I'm gonna get a little wild here. Please humor me for a little bit. Could it be like a voice, automated, activated, whatever word you want to use, refrigerator?
That's a fun concept. In a voice automated refrigerator, you could use voice to do things like check your inventory, add items to a digital shopping list, or even get recipe suggestions based on what's inside. It could also notify you about expiring items. What features jump out to you?
Wow. So the one with the shopping list, because what I do today, I only get my orders delivered. Don't judge me. But throughout the week, things that I need to order, I usually just put it in my Walmart cart and that goes off of my memory. But what if I could just tell my voice automated fridge, hey, can you put this in my cart, or have it do it and tell me, hey, I put this in your cart to be delivered next week or Friday, whenever Friday, Saturday, whenever I order.
Would be really efficient. A voice first system could definitely integrate with your existing routine, confirming that items are added to your digital cart seamlessly. It could even send you a summary before delivery for approval, adding another layer of convenience.
Totally agree with that. What's the biggest challenges in designing voice first systems? I could imagine it being very, very challenging to, with the natural language, making the voice AI platform not sound too robotic. What are some challenges?
You hit on some key points. Natural language understanding, especially with different accents, dialects, and context, is a significant challenge. Also, creating truly natural and engaging voices that don't sound robotic, ensuring data privacy and security, and handling complex user requests flawlessly are all major hurdles. Is there any particular aspect you're curious about?
No, that summed it up. That summed it up. I have one more question for you. How do cloud systems enable real-time voice interaction?
Cloud systems play a crucial role in real time voice interaction by processing complex data quickly. They handle the heavy lifting of converting your voice to text, running it through advanced AI models, and generating the response, all in milliseconds. This allows for instantaneous communication that feels like a natural conversation.
And I love that you said that, Gemini. Can you please tell the audience that AI wouldn't be in such I guess, a strong adoption mode? Like AI would just be a demo without having the compute, storage, and networking of the cloud. Can you please share, let the audience know that cloud is critical to AI infrastructure?
That's absolutely correct. Cloud systems are the backbone of modern AI. Without the massive compute power, scalable storage, and high speed networking the cloud provides, sophisticated AI models like those driving voice interaction wouldn't be feasible or widely adopted. It's truly critical.
Yeah. And that's something that I'll be mentioning in my podcast soon. But Gemini, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate all of the insights that you provided today on Tech Tuesdays. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I'm glad I could provide some valuable insights for your podcast. Feel free to reach out if you have more questions in the future.
Yes, we'll do. And yeah, hope you have a great rest of your day.
You as well. I
And there you have it, folks. A live conversation with Google Gemini. This is the new frontier, voice enabled AI. And honestly, I love it. I really, really do love it. Thank you all so much for tuning in to Tech Tuesdays with KJ. Tech Tuesdays is pivoting slightly to more video content on YouTube with clips on LinkedIn, Substack, and some clips on X. So we are expanding. Thank you all for your participation in the Product Leaders Edge podcast, where we go longer form, but podcasting really gave me just the edge and the preparation to go full video on YouTube, which I'm super grateful because that's how we interact with each other as humans, through video content. And that has more traction than just written content. So thank you all, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye now.